Some borders follow rivers, carving smooth lines through valleys. Some follow mountains, crest to crest across the sky. But others make no sense at all. From towns split in two to land cut off completely. These are the world's strangest borders. Political borders are supposed to be logical, clean lines that separate one country from another. But history, wars, and old treaties often wrote the rules with rulers, compasses, and guesswork. Surveyors were rushed, maps were incomplete, coastlines were tricky, and compromises were messy. Over time, those decisions hardened into borders that look almost impossible to believe. Today, we visit a town where the border runs through living rooms, a slice of America you can only reach by crossing Canada, and a Russian region stranded between Poland and Lithuania. We'll look past the lines to the people and places living with them every day. Because on the ground, borders are less about ink and more about daily life. Let's explore the borders that defy logic. On the border between Belgium and the Netherlands lies one of the most confusing towns on Earth, Baarle. Here, two municipalities overlap like lace. Baarle-Hertog belongs to Belgium. Baarle-Nassau belongs to the Netherlands. Belgium controls more than 20 small enclaves inside Dutch territory. Some Belgian enclaves even contain tiny Dutch counter-enclaves, a border within a border. Today, white crosses on the pavement mark exactly where the border runs. The line cuts through streets, shops, restaurants, and private homes. One couch sits in Belgium, the coffee table in the Netherlands. In the past, closing times differed by country, so diners simply moved their tables across the line. Officials used the location of the front door to determine a house's nationality. Mail routes zigzag between countries in a single street. Police and services coordinate constantly across tiny boundaries. Shops straddle jurisdictions. One cash register in Belgium, another in the Netherlands. Water, electricity, and permits can change at a doorway. Residents grow up navigating the line as casually as a crosswalk. Baarle's puzzle began with medieval land swaps and feudal rights. Centuries of deals produced islands of ownership that survived into modern borders. When the national border was fixed, those islands became enclaves. Today, both municipalities publish detailed maps to keep life practical. Every enclave has a name and code. Locals know them by heart. Owning a home on the line can be quirky and sometimes complicated. Buying or renovating might mean getting permissions from two towns. Yet the community embraces its map-made identity. Belgian and Dutch cultures mix seamlessly, separate but shared. In Baarle, the border isn't a barrier. It's part of everyday rhythm. Belgian enclaves inside the Netherlands and Dutch counter-enclaves inside those make a cartographic maze. Look closely, and the border is everywhere. Welcome to Baarle, where a line on a map became a way of life. Our next strange border sits on a quiet peninsula above Seattle. To reach it by land, you must leave the country, then come back. Point Roberts appears to be part of the United States, but geography tells a different story. It's a small American community separated from the U.S. mainland by the Canadian border. The line here is the 49th parallel, fixed by treaty in 1846. Surveyors followed latitude, not the coastline's twists and turns. They didn't fully account for the peninsula that dips below the line. The result? An American exclave attached to Canada by land, but not to the rest of the U.S. By road, the only way to reach Point Roberts is through Canada. Residents often cross the border for school, shopping, and medical visits. The sea offers another route, but ferries and weather make it impractical for daily life. Everyday errands can mean 2 border inspections in a single trip. School commutes have crossed international lines for generations. Logistics, from mail to emergency services, depend on cross-border coordination. It began with a simple rule: draw the border along a latitude and keep going. Communities adapted, building lives around a line that split their shoreline. Point Roberts remains a quiet reminder of how tidy maps create complicated realities. To drive there from Washington State, you must exit the U.S., traverse Canada, then re-enter. The boundary is clear on the ground, a narrow cut through the forest. Yet life moves at a coastal pace, shaped but not defined by the line. Now to a region separated not by a town or a road, but by entire countries. A piece of Russia on the Baltic Sea with no land bridge home. Kaliningrad is officially part of Russia, but it does not touch the rest of Russia at all. It sits between Poland and Lithuania on the Baltic Sea, an exclave separated from its mainland. More than 1 million people live here, linked by sea and air rather than land. Drive any direction, and you meet another country before Russia. Before World War II, this city was Königsberg, part of Germany, in East Prussia. Its identity was German for centuries, with a strategic Baltic port. In 1945, the Soviet Union took control of the region after the war. Post-war resettlement and reconstruction reshaped the city and its name, Kaliningrad. Today, Kaliningrad remains strategically important, with a key Baltic port. Its location makes it a transportation hub between EU countries and the Baltic Sea. Daily life feels both European and Russian, layered by its unique history. Economic ties stretch across borders, even as politics can complicate crossings. Most travel to Russia proper goes by air or sea. Overland routes require visas and transit through neighboring states. Residents live with a constant sense of being connected and apart. Education, culture, and commerce bridge the gap created by geography. Echoes of the past remain. Königsberg's scholars and landmarks still leave traces. On the map, it is a Russian island in a sea of different jurisdictions. On the ground, it is simply home to many and a strategic outpost to others. Kaliningrad is the definition of an exclave. From enclaves to exclaves, the map keeps surprising us, and every strange border carries a story. From borders running through living rooms to countries cut off from their own mainland. These strange lines remind us that borders are shaped more by history than by logic. If you enjoy journeys beyond the map, subscribe to Hidden World Explorer TV. New explorations every week, places where geography tells unexpected stories. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.